Welcome to the show! We even have theme music now. And you can tell why I'm not a professional dancer. Oh, look at that. A nice fade away with our music. Welcome to day 8. And we are cooking raspberry glazed chicken with spring mixed salad. Quiet on set, everybody.
Quiet on set.
That's right, there's just 2 of us. All right, well, welcome and thank you for all of you who are joining me for this, our 8th meal we're cooking together. And we are voting, if you notice the poll, we are voting on our favorite meal. So today, if this, I think this one is going to top them all. We've had some pretty equal voting, but it looks like right now the Fiesta Fajita chicken salad is rocking it right now. But thank you guys all for voting, participating, inviting people, and we're just going to have some fun here. By the way, if you are joining me right now, you know what to do. Put hashtag number 1 in the comments. If you're watching this live, let me know where you're listening from. Make sure you say hello. Let me know if you're cooking with me. If you listen to this later as the recording, hashtag number 2. Let me know if you're cooking with me. We plan on having a score update tonight, right, Paulina?
That's right.
That's right. Score update tonight. So make sure you tune in probably around 9 o'clock. Let's see how we're doing. We are giving away $325 in Amazon gift cards. So stay tuned. Let's see who our big winner is. All right, I want to show you, to start with, I want to show you a thing with our celery here. Okay. All right, so the question is, why did the chef quit? Did you figure out the answer? The chef quit because they cut his celery. Oh, that was such a good one. A cooking joke. Oh, I love it. The chef quit because he cut his celery. A little bit appropriate right now with what's going on. But anyway, I am very happy that you guys are all here. We're going to have some comments read here in just a minute, see how everybody's doing. And we're going to start off with a nice drink. I experimented with this last night, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm going to show you guys how to make a raspberry drink. And I have called it Mystic Sunset. Now, doesn't that sound magical? So we're going to be making together Mystic Sunset. So what you're going to need for Mystic Sunset is some really sweet glasses like this. Aren't these amazing? These are really cool glasses because we're going to be making a mocktail. And in order for us to make a mocktail, we have to do it without alcohol. I know that some of you, when you're on the Lose It stage of the VitaLife program, or maybe if you're joining and you're just trying to lose weight, you understand that drinking alcohol is kind of opposite of weight loss, right? So we're going to be making something that's approved on the Lose It stage of the program. It's a great treat, and we're going to have some fun doing it, and Paulina may make it alcoholic.
May is an understatement.
May is an understatement. So who's all joining us? What do we got going on over there? I'm going to be, while she's reading some comments, I'm going to be showing what's going on here. So I've got some raspberries. I've got a single serving blender here, and I've filled about halfway with ice. I also have some really cool ice cubes, and one of the things when we're making mocktails is some of the fun of the mocktail is just all of the fun things you put in it. We've got some cool straws, biodegradable, and some cool toothpicks that we'll use for our garnishing, and then I have a little bit of mint left over, and we're going to be using that little bit of mint as well as a garnish. I don't need the celery. Those were simply for the joke. Okay. All right, so we're going to start by, we have our, let's see here, let's see if I can put it right here. Is this a better view there? Have our ice. We're going to then add some raspberries. We're not going to add all of these raspberries, but, and this, by the way, this is about 4 ounces. I'm not adding all of the raspberries. I'm just adding some of the raspberries here. So we get about that much raspberry. And again, we're using a lot of raspberries today because that way, if you're on the program, you can do this meal all about raspberries and not double up on your fruit. Okay, so we got that. Then we're going to put in, I have some sparkling water. This is Pellegrino. There we are, sparkling water. Okay, and what I'm going to do with our sparkling water here is add that Careful not to open it too fast. There we go. We're going to fill in all the cracks with our Pellegrino. Just like so. It's perfect. And then we're going to try this just as is, and I do also have some stevia just in case we want to make it a little bit sweeter. You can make it as sweet as you want. All right, here we go. Oh, you know what? You know what I'm also going to do? This is extra and free. I'm going to add a little bit of fresh lemon since I have an open lemon here. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of fresh lemon juice to this as well, make it this nice and refreshing. Not too much, just a little squeeze. Okay. There we go. This is going to get loud here in a moment. Okay. We want to blend it so it's all really well blended together. Here we go. Okay, there we go. And this is what we have here. So if you're watching with me, we're just making a raspberry drink to get us started off tonight, get us all feeling rather fine. We got our glasses here, and we're going to put our big ice cube in our glass. There we go. There we go. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try what this tastes like, okay, before I put it in, because once I put it in, it's going to be difficult to mix. So I'm going to go ahead and try this. So if you're doing this with me, or if you're going to do this later, you know, we filled it about halfway with ice. We put about a quarter, then the next quarter of the way with raspberries, and then we filled in all the cracks with sparkling water, okay? Okay, I'm glad I tried it. It's tart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some stevia to it, and I'm going to go with the vanilla stevia. You could use a stevia of your choice. Probably about 3 or 4 drops of the vanilla stevia. Then I'm going to mix it together again. And it's going to get loud here again, so bear with me. And we'll just mix it in the stevia, so we don't need to do too much. There we go. And let's try this again. Much better, much better. Okay, so now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to fill about, about not quite halfway, but maybe, well, pretty close to halfway. I'm going to fill that second line, okay, with the sparkling water, because you do lose quite a bit of fizz when you blend it. So when you open that blender, you're going to have like this psst. I have a special one that releases the pressure on the back side, but most of them release the pressure on the top. So we're going to go ahead and pour that in. And I'm pouring it in, I'm trying to hit it on top of the ice cube as I pour, because it's the goal is for us to have a separation here in our drink. So that way, you can see how we have this cool separation. I don't know if I hold this one up, if you can see that one better. There we go. You see how cool that looks? Okay. So I've got my drinks ready now. And then, of course, we have to have these really cool red straws. So we're going to go ahead and stick our red straws in. And then for our garnish, we're going to use our raspberries. Okay. And we're going to use our skewers, and we're going to use our mint here. So my mint leaves are kind of pathetic looking here, but we're going to use what we have. The mint will be a nice addition to this. And actually, if you had some leftover mint and you wanted to muddle some in here, it would be delicious. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to stab some raspberries. I'm going to stab 3 raspberries. You could stab however many raspberries you would like to stab. But on my, oh, I forgot.
So violent.
So violent. While I'm stabbing raspberries, let's see who all's joining us.
Sure.
Okay. Stabbing raspberries. Who all is joining me this fine Wednesday evening?
Christine is cooking with you.
Christine, yay, Christine, I love it.
Mary is watching.
Mary's watching. Hey, you know what? Can I get, before we continue reading comments, can I get a volunteer that as I'm doing this, to type out what I'm doing. Because then that will make it so much easier that I can take whatever you typed out and I can copy and paste it, and it'll make everything even faster. So if I say something like, hey, this is about a cup of whatever, if somebody can volunteer here, but let's go ahead and keep reading comments and we'll wait for a volunteer there, but go ahead.
Awesome. Good thinking. Who do we have else? Kathleen is watching, Lenore is watching, Kimberly, Jillian.
Kathleen, Lenore, Jillian, welcome, 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 everybody.
Yeah. And Christine, I'm watching too.
Paulina is watching, shocking.
I think I'm signing 2 devices. Anyways, Kathy Jaspers has
Yay.
joined us.
My mom is here. You can blame all of my weirdness on her. Okay. Yeah, moving on.
Nina is cooking.
Nina's cooking. Great to have you again, Nina. Great.
Sherry Wheeler is on. And
Sherry, nice to have you on, Sherry.
And Jane joined.
Jane joined. Awesome, Jane. I don't think you're
Awesome.
cooking with us tonight, but I do appreciate you joining with us tonight. Okay, so here is our drinks. Paulina, would you like to come and try a
And
drink?
Mary Beth is cooking with you.
Okay.
She's saying cheers.
Cheers, Mary Beth. There we are. Cheers. Clink. There we go. And give one to our nice and wonderful camera lady.
Oh, fantastic.
And there's no alcohol in this one, camera lady.
Okay.
But maybe we should wait till after we're done cooking.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to want to mix it in now, because if you just were to take a sip right now, all you're going to get is sparkling water.
Yeah.
You know, the Mystic Sunset is the name that I have named this drink.
Ooh. Cheers.
But, cheers. Light, refreshing, and delicious.
Who else is making this drink with us?
Yeah, let us know. You can get that little bit, because I put some vanilla stevia, you get a little bit of that vanilla in there.
That is really, really good mocktail.
Very refreshing.
And
And
if we were out, this would probably cost me $10.
this would cost you $10. But here it's free.
Here it's free.
Here it's free.
Yeah.
All right, so that was fun. I'm gonna actually set this over here so I can continue drinking. Okay, we're gonna still need our blender here, and I'm actually going to need. Man, I didn't think about this one very well.
What's up?
We need this for later on,
Ah.
but it can have raspberry juice in it. So here's some more mocktail.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's see how we're doing. Good.
So does everybody knows the joke? Why did the chicken cross the road? Right? Because we're cooking with chicken today. Why did the chicken cross the road? Come on, I know we all know it.
I had a shirt that said, "Why did a chicken cross the road?"
Uh huh.
And then there was chicken flicking off, and it said, "None of your business."
Thank you. That's my girlfriend behind the
Oh
camera.
God, it was a great T-shirt.
So yeah, why did the chicken cross the road? I'm sure we're having people answer this. Let's hear what
Bonnie
we
made
got.
the drink.
Yay,
She's
Bonnie!
here cooking and drinking.
Yeah, very good. I will say, if you're going to make this into a alcoholic beverage, and you're not on my program right now, or you're on lock-in and beyond on my program, what I would say goes really nice. I have some raspberry amaretto, and I put some of that in there, and some white rum. So the raspberry amaretto, white rum, and then I had a peach, orange, like a cordial liqueur, and it was pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic.
We
But
may or may have not had one last night.
yes, we may or may have not had one of those last night. But today you saw everything. There was no secrets here. Okay. All right, so we're going to be, one of the biggest things I want to teach you tonight is we made a dressing yesterday, but I want you to be able to just look in your fridge, kind of see what's there, and be able to make your own dressing. And that's what we're going to be doing with our raspberries today. We're going to be making a dressing, and we're also going to bring all of the flavors together with our food today by making that raspberry a glaze over our chicken. Now, I am trying to not let food go bad, and I'm cooking copious amounts of food. So this is the Fiesta Fajita chicken. I've patted it off with a towel, and I'm going to reuse it. So you may take a little bit longer cooking your chicken because you'll need to cook your chicken. But before you cook your chicken, go ahead and cut it into strips like this. All right, so cut it into strips. You can see here we've got several different strips. You want it in strips, so the same size as what we did with our fajitas. And so anyway, I'm going to be repurposing that meat, so when you get time to cook your meat, it may take you just a little bit longer than it will take me. But let's make a dressing together. And then also I have this nice spring salad, mixed green spring salad, and just put whatever you want in it. I put tomatoes in it. It's mixed greens, okay, so spinach and some different types of lettuce in here, a little bit of cabbage. I went ahead and sliced some radishes. And I used a mandolin to slice the radishes, and it's really nice because you get a very consistent slice. I'm looking for, where'd my mandolin go? Ah, here it is. So this is what I used. Okay, I'll put a link for this. Super simple. It comes with these other inserts as well. All right, so you can see these different inserts. So you can do different things. You can julienne with it. You can grate cheese with it, small or big. And it's not very expensive. This is a nice little tool to have in the kitchen, and this is what I used for my radishes. And it was very, very helpful. Makes the consistency of the radishes great. By the way, too, if you have radishes and you have some nutritional yeast, it's excellent together. Okay, so I have some leftover nutritional yeast. Same type of concept. We're going to have like a chip flavor. There we go. The camera lady wants some. Radishes are one of my favorites. Give me a hashtag radish if you love radishes. Here we go. We're giving it to the camera lady.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Radishes have that nice, crisp, more crunchiness to them. Okay? All right, so let's make a dressing together. So I have a single serving blender. My spring salad is already prepared. The one thing I did put in my spring salad I want to point out here is, there we go. Is I put raspberries in the salad itself. And somebody's stealing the mushrooms. Okay, but I put raspberries in the salad itself. I also put a little, I cut up some snack peppers. There really is no wrong way. I put some green onions in there, and a lot of it was just because I didn't want stuff going bad, so it was stuff that was open, stuff that I'd started cutting, and I just threw it in. There's really not a bad way to do a salad, and really not anything that doesn't work. I will say, if you're not on the lose it stage and you can have nuts shaved, or diced or finely chopped up, almonds would be delicious with this. So almonds or pecans would be very, very good too. And also, dried cranberries on this, if you're not on the lose it stage, would be an excellent addition to this salad. So just a few things like that. Sunflower seeds too. Man, there's so many things. Pine nuts. Oh, you can do so much with this salad. It's great. Okay, so we're gonna get back to our vinaigrette here. We're gonna make our own vinaigrette. So I'm gonna take, and this is, did we get a volunteer to help us out with writing stuff down, by the way?
I don't, unless I missed it, no.
Nobody's volunteering. Oh, that's okay.
People are cooking.
People are cooking. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so we have more comments though.
More comments. All right.
Christine says she made the drinks, but she used frozen fruits, and it looks great and tastes delicious.
Awesome.
And then Kathleen said to get to the other side for your chicken.
To get to the other side. You are correct. It is to get to the other side. Now, the next question that I have for you, it was Kathleen that answered that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next question, Kathleen, is why did the cactus cross the road? So you'll be thinking about that. I'm going to take a teaspoon of mustard, of the same mustard I used yesterday. The Dijon mustard works really well as an addition to a salad. And I like the stone ground, and I'm going to give you a close-up. This is why I like the stone ground. It gives you texture in your dressing. So if you can see here, whoa, too far. There we go. You see the little dots? That's the mustard, and it's stone ground, so it's not super fine. So it's not mustard powder. It's like mustard seed. So I like using mustard seed, and that just gives more texture to our dressing. So a teaspoon of mustard. Then I'm going to take and figure out how much. I'm going to use some apple cider vinegar. Make sure if you're using apple cider vinegar, you mix it up. Apple cider vinegar, you'll see there's some that say with the mother. With the mother basically means it has all the good stuff in it. So just think, everybody wants a mother when you're buying your apple cider vinegar. Buy it with the mother.
How much are you putting up that in?
I am going to be putting, let's see here, let me look at my measurements here. I am going to be putting 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar into my single serving blender here. So I've got a teaspoon of stone ground mustard, Dijon mustard. I've got a 1/4 of a cup or 2 ounces of my apple cider vinegar, and we're going to then put in raspberries, okay? So this is the raspberry, and think raspberry vinaigrette. If you just break that word apart, you have raspberries or raspberry sauce, and you have vinaigrette. Now, here's the key. Most dressings have a sweetener in it. So you could sweeten this with like raspberry jam, but to make raspberry jam, you have to use like, it's 1 part raspberries, 1 part sugar. So for every ounce, this is crazy, for every ounce of raspberries, you use 1 ounce of sugar. It's a lot of sugar. That's why jam is so sweet. We don't need it to be that sweet. So what I'm going to do is, this is a carton right here. This is a full carton of raspberries. I'm going to use about half. Ooh, maybe, if I can get in there. I'm going to use about half. And while I'm doing this, go ahead and turn, you could either do any vegetable with this. So I was planning on doing asparagus, but I didn't have any asparagus, but I had some leftover green beans from the other night. So I went ahead and I'm doing some green beans. So I'm going to boil the green beans, okay? And you could do the same thing with asparagus. You're going to cook up your vegetable right now, so I'm going to be boiling. Yeah, that's the carton.
6 ounces.
6 ounces, okay, so I'm using half of a carton here. Okay, I'm going to cook up my green beans, and then at the end, I'm going to cook them so where they're not quite, where they're not quite done. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to finish them off in a frying pan. I'm going to finish them off in a frying pan. Oh my goodness, I can't find the right size. Does anybody else have this problem? You have all these lids, and then you go and you try them, and none of the lids fit the stupid pot? Yeah, problems. See, this is what you don't get in the cooking show. All of this happens in Hollywood, but they've got 25 people to run around and grab the right lid. There, right lid.
If we weren't in quarantine, we could get you 25 people.
What'd you say?
If we were not in quarantine, we could get you 25.
Thank you. So I'm getting my grilled green beans, but I don't want them quite finished, so a little bit crunchier than what I would normally take them at. And then what I've prepared here, is a pot, and this is about 1/4 of a cup of diced onions. And this is probably, you can see it's just a few mushrooms, maybe 2 ounces of mushrooms, and then the liquid in there is vegetable broth. So I've got some vegetable broth in there. So this is what I'm going to finish the green beans in. So I'll start cooking this a little bit ahead of time and then finish them off in there. I forgot to get my garlic ready again, so we will be cutting garlic together. But let's finish our...
Somebody did see the joke.
Kathleen said about, so why did the cactus cross the road? And the answer
gotta
is...
stick with the chickens.
It's so close. Oh, really good, Kathleen. I'm impressed. The answer is because it was stuck to the chicken.
So it was
sticking to the chicken. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are all on top of it. Now, I can tell blonde jokes because I'm a blonde. Why did the blonde climb over the glass wall? There's your next one. Okay, so what I'm going to do while you're thinking about the blonde climbing over the glass wall, I've got my mixture here, and I'm going to go ahead and mix a little bit and see what we get. Again, this is an experimental process. Now, what I pulled out today is I pulled out a Maple Stevia. All right, now this is our own brand of Maple Stevia, and I went ahead and pulled it out. We worked really hard with our stevia to get the taste to not be bitter. Sometimes stevia can have a bitter taste, so if you don't like the bitter bite of stevia, try our brand. You can get it on our website, shopvitalife.com, or next time you are talking to your coach, let them know you would be interested in trying the maple. So I'm going to put maybe 3 or 4 drops. We're going to start with 4, because we put quite a bit of vinegar in there. We're going to get some sweetness from the raspberries. We're also going to get some really cool textures from the raspberries, as well as then our Dijon, our stone ground Dijon. So let's mix this together. Okay, it's going to get loud again. Okay, let's try this out. Take this opportunity to grab yourself a swig of your beverage. What's everybody drinking tonight? Post in the comments what you're having. We're gonna pretend like we're all in the kitchen together here. And let's try some of our raspberry vinaigrette here. It's not bad, but it's tart. So, what I'm going to do to make it less tart is more sugar, or our maple stevia.
Oh, more stevia.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll make it easy. I put 10 drops of our maple stevia in there. Did anybody know why the blonde climbed over the glass wall? Any more comments?
Oh, Jackie.
What were our comments?
You're so
Okay, Jackie?
You guys, how do I even? What day are we on quarantine here together? Oh. Jackie's drinking red wine.
What'd you say?
Jackie's drinking red wine.
Jackie's drinking red wine. Well, thank you for joining us and drink. I bet this show is better the more red wine you drink.
Yeah.
Anybody know why nobody guessed why the blonde climbed over the glass wall?
I don't see anybody.
No?
Unless,
Well.
hold on, let me see if maybe I need to refresh my comments.
That was it, everybody. That was it. So, 3 ounces of raspberries. Whatever I said for the vinegar, I think it was 1/4 of a cup of vinegar. Right? 1 teaspoon of stone ground mustard. My green beans are boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and turn those down to a low. Give them a quick mix here, quick stir. There we go. Very nice. And I'm doing long because I didn't cut the green beans too short. I went long with them because they're supposed to be like asparagus. So it's supposed to have a longer look to them. Okay.
So Louise is saying so she can see what's on the other side.
Oh, Louise! She got it! The blonde climbed over the glass wall to see what was on the other side.
That
Very
was
good.
funny.
Very good. I forgot to do my garlic, so I'm going to go ahead and do my garlic. What I have prepared here is, if you haven't started yet, I just put, again, some of this just because I have extra stuff. This is some of the green onion I had. These are snack peppers that are about to go bad, so I went ahead and threw them in here. And then the little bit of liquid here is vegetable broth. I don't want to use Bragg's today because Bragg's will give it too much of a salty taste, and that's going to take away from our our raspberry taste. Let me have Paulina come and try our dressing. And this is going to be a dressing that we're going to use to glaze the chicken as well as our dressing for our salad. And what you're going to find, you don't have to, if you do this dish for guests, you don't have to tell them. They're just going to be surprised at how the flavors just work so well together. Your secret is your secret sauce is you use the same sauce on the chicken as you did on the salad. But they don't know that. So
They don't know.
They don't know that. And what they don't know, you guessed it, can't hurt them. All right, here, you take this.
Okay. It wouldn't hurt them anyways.
Have you never heard that phrase before?
I didn't.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's like
a tart, sweet.
It's tart.
Yeah, it's tart. I like it tart.
I like the tart too.
So that was 10 drops of stevia. That's a lot of
Let me just get
stevia.
another one because I was eating the strawberry raspberries, so I wanna. Yeah, I think it's tart, isn't it?
Too tart? I like sour, so here's the ultimate test here.
So. Oh yeah, that would make it. Thank you.
How's that? Still too tart?
No,
Perfect?
I think so.
So maybe a
Wow.
little tart, because then when you add the salad, and that's, by the way, another little tip there. If you wonder how something's going to be,
That's a good
try it.
idea.
Because you're not going to just sit here drinking this. This is not your alcoholic beverage of the day. That's perfect. You can always, people put on their own dressing, so you can always back it off. My green beans are humming right along. I'm going to put those down to low. Hopefully you started cooking your chicken by now. I'm going to go ahead and put my already cooked chicken in my dish. And I'll get that started in just a minute. I want to put a little bit of garlic in my mushroom mixer.
Mixer?
Mixture. Please.
Special device, the mushroom mixer.
You know, has
1000.
anybody else? I have found myself talking since this whole quarantine thing, talking online or over the phone so much more. It's been insane. Like I feel like I'm never done talking. I'm sure you think so too. You probably feel bad for Paulina. You're like, does this guy constantly talk the entire time? No, I talk for you guys. We normally sit in silence. That just fell in the trash. Okay.
Oh, one of those days. It's just a Wednesday, my dear.
Wednesdays are awesome.
I know. Fun fact, for the longest time today, I thought it was Thursday.
Who's that, Paulina?
Yeah.
Oh, Paulina thought it was Thursday.
For a while.
So she was so excited that she found out that she has more days in the week now.
I was.
Yeah. So I'm
let's
mincing
see.
some garlic here. I'm going to take a clove of garlic and mince this bad boy.
So Jane is saying the secret is in the sauce.
The
Do you
secret
know
is
what
in-
movie that line is from?
Ooh, the secret is in the sauce. Do you know what movie that's from? I personally don't, but let's see if somebody can get that. I'm interested. So somebody answer Jane's question, and don't Google it. I can Google it.
Okay.
Don't Google. I have my phone right here. I can Google this, but don't Google it. Let us know if you know. The secret is in the sauce.
Cindy said fried green tomatoes.
Cindy says fried green tomatoes.
Is that to what she's adding in, or
No, that's the answer to the question.
no?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, fried
I believe
green
so.
tomatoes.
Jane
is
gotta
the
let us know,
movie?
is it fried green tomatoes? Did she get it right and win 10,000 virtual brownie points?
And Bonnie says, can you run through the dressing ingredients once more?
Yes, I can. So it is, and maybe Paulina could type them in the comments.
I already have them up, yeah.
Oh, you do? Type them, okay, well,
I will put them in the comments.
all right, Paulina's going to put that in the comments for you because it was a 4th cup of apple cider vinegar with the mother. We don't do any orphans. So apple cider vinegar with, that was another kitchen joke. Come on, people, that was good.
Wow.
The audience is laughing so much right now. All right.
Actually, you typed it in.
Huh?
Because I'm on your...
Oh, I'm so talented. I typed that in. He didn't know I could do that. Okay, so yeah, so it's a 4th cup of apple cider vinegar. It was 3 ounces of raspberries, and then it was 10 drops of stevia and 1 teaspoon of stone ground mustard, Dijon mustard. Okay, so I have my garlic. And I'm going to put my clove of garlic is going to go in that mixture that I'm going to put my green beans in. Now my green beans have been cooking a while. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat on my chicken. Now for you that had to cook your chicken, you're probably already cooking it. But I'm going to go ahead and turn some heat on my chicken. Going to stir these green beans up a little bit.
So did you know it was fried green tomatoes?
Was that the right answer?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Good job. It was. I don't know. I didn't know
Oh, I
that.
thought you knew
No.
it.
I just knew that was the. She was trying to answer the question.
Oh, got it. I thought you said I know the answer, but I want to see if anybody else
No,
knows.
I didn't know the answer. I have not
Oh.
seen fried green tomatoes.
I have not either. Is it a comedy or like a romantic cooking comedy? I
You'll
don't
have,
know.
we'll have to look that bad boy up. Maybe you could watch it on Netflix since we have nothing else to do. I'm just kidding. We have been so. This has been like the. I have been more busy since this quarantine, putting on these cooking shows than, like, the past 6 years of my life. Anyway, try your green beans right now. They should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and drain out the green beans, and so that way they stop cooking. I'm not going to blanch them because they don't need to be blanched. But if you want to stop the cooking process of the green beans, you could blanch them. I'm now turning on the heat for my mushroom, garlic, onion mixture here. I'm going to drain my green beans and turn off that back burner. Alright. Making sure, again, not to burn myself. Whew, that water's hot. How many of you love these yellow oven mitts?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love
We were
these yellow
saying-
oven mitts.
Did anybody comment? I was like, let's name them.
Name the oven mitts. Ooh, that would be cool. There's 2 of them, so it has to be a pair. It has to be a name that has a pair.
Like Bonnie and Clyde.
Like Bonnie and Clyde, like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, like you name your trio, your duo. All right, so I have my green beans going. I want to wait till these are caramelized. These are cooked. They're just going to saturate some of the taste of those. My chicken is starting to sizzle a little bit here. Your chicken should be getting done. Again, you should see no pink in your chicken when it's done. For me, it's really simple because I'm already using chicken that's done. All right, so what I'm going for here is I'm just going for a glaze. Or, going for a little bit of a glaze with my chicken dish here over my green onions and my peppers. I'm also going to make sure I keep mixing. I've got some bubbles starting here, so this is starting to do its thing. Mix that in a little bit. Cook that in a little more. There we go. We got some sizzling going on here. Awesome. Okay. Once your chicken is really close to being done, I want you to go ahead and add in a little bit of your raspberry vinaigrette here. And if you planned ahead, what you could do is you could take some of this, put it in a plastic bag with some extra salt, and marinate your raw chicken and then use this right away to help cook your chicken. That would be even better. But I'm going to go ahead and add some of this raspberry vinaigrette directly into my chicken pan and mix that in. I'm also making sure I don't burn my onions and mushrooms, turning that down to about a 3 heat because we're starting to cook pretty quickly here. Starting to get some steam on it. All right, is everybody able to see this? No, people can't see this.
Not here. No, I'm not.
You see, so you see when it's steaming like this, you see the steam rising off of it. That means it could potentially it's about to burn. So that's where you want to really turn it down, get it moving. Sometimes even, so you see the steam here, we don't want it burning. Sometimes even removing it from the heat for a second. Okay. You can see how it almost immediately stops smoking. We've got something smoking over here, but it almost immediately stops smoking because we don't want burn. Especially, the same thing happens with oil. I'm also going to turn down my burner here to my chicken because now I'm just trying to marinate and mix in the flavors here. You could even put this chicken then on your salad if you wanted. You could serve this cold later on your salad. It'd be really, really good. You could put this. You could do a whole chicken breast. You could drizzle this over the top, and you could bake it as well. So just lots of different options. There's no wrong way to cook unless you burn something and you don't like it. The biggest thing, honestly, with cooking is you need to learn to cook for yourself. So you need to learn to cook what you like, and take and adapt people's recipes to make them your own, and just have fun. You know, cooking is fun. Make it something that the family gets involved with. If you're a grandparent, kids love to cook. So teach them how to cook. I remember doing cookies as a child with my mom, especially around Christmas time. We would all make these cookies together, and that was like a really cool special time. We would take the pumpkin seeds out of the pumpkin and make pumpkin seed stuff and pumpkin stuff, and it was fun. And it's almost like a craft project for a kid. They like it. Plus, who knows? They may end up choosing a career path that has cooking. Since my this is looking pretty close. My mushrooms still need a little bit more time. These are some hearty mushrooms here. Mushrooms still need a little bit more time. I put a little bit much on my broth. So we're going to let that cook for a little bit longer, maybe drain out some of that liquid before we serve it. But here's my raspberry chicken. I'm going to go ahead and try a piece. This is Paulina's favorite part. See how our chicken's doing. So I'm going to grab a little bit of onion, a little bit of the pepper, and we're going to do the taste testing portion. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, hang on. Pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. All right, it's always going to need a little bit of salt and pepper. All right, here we go. Now I'll mix it in. Now I'll try it. Okay, let's give this a shot. Make sure you get all the different pieces in with your bite here. So here's a nice steaming bite of food. Wow. It has an Asian zing to it. The first thing that comes to my mind when I try this is Asian zing. So maybe we can name this dish Raspberry Asian Zing Chicken. That has a nice zing to it. Wow. It's getting late, I know. The jokes started great, but then they get worse. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my mushroom mixture to my green beans. Okay? Because my green bean pot is bigger, and the reason I'm putting all of these things in here is because I want to add nice flavor to the green beans. Okay? And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a pinch of salt and pepper on the green beans. Mix up the chicken. I'm going to turn my burner off on my chicken, otherwise you can see here, let me show you a close-up of this. You can see here, see that? Because we're not cooking with oil, so this is where you can really run into some burn issues. That's the raspberry that's starting to get close to burning, so I actually turned off the heat, keep it moving so you don't burn. Okay, just like so. We should be good now. And mix this in with my green beans. Very nice. And now, let's have Paulina come over here and try a green bean, because we're adding flavor to the green beans naturally with the little bit of chicken stock, which doesn't have much of a flavor, or excuse me, vegetable stock, but it's the onions, mushrooms, and garlic that really add the flavor over here.
It smells delicious.
So here's a green bean.
I love green beans. Thank you. I'm getting the Asians in.
Well, try
Just really good.
a piece of chicken. So let me know if you've gotten to the point where you try it and what you think. This is the Asian zing.
Oh, this is Asian?
That's the Asian zing.
Did you put soy sauce in there? Or in there?
No, that's the flavors melded together with the chicken stock or vegetable stock. That one you get the Asian zing?
Oh, the sweet and sour.
Yeah, oh there it is. It's like a sweet and sour chicken.
That's where
There
it's
it
at.
is. That's where it's at. Alright, so
It's delicious.
we also have, let's see, let me grab a salad plate here. We also have our salad, which is ready. Also remember your pan is hot, so you do want to not forget about the things sitting in there. So I'm going to give my chicken another stir so we don't burn. Okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and serve the salad here.
Oh, people are saying, Bonnie's saying, well, I have a different meal than you, since I thought you added the chicken to the mushroom onion mix.
Oh, very
And
nice.
Kathleen did the same thing.
Okay.
It's Bonnie. How does it taste?
How does it taste, guys? Let us know. Biggest thing is, do you like it? All right. Okay, here's my salad. Over here. Here's my salad. And let me go ahead and add in a little bit of my...
Tammy's joining us.
Hey, Tammy. Welcome, welcome. Is that Tammy Northcutt? Or different
Yes.
Tammy? Tammy! Hopefully Paul's doing well there. I know he's had some procedures. All right, so I'm putting a little bit, and again, dressing's going to be up to you, but you can see how much I put on here. Okay. I have in my salad some snack peppers, some raspberries, radishes, cucumber, and some Roma sliced tomatoes. That is what is in mine. And let's give our salad a try.
Kathleen's saying it's delicious, the chicken being in the other mixture. How's the salad?
Oh my goodness, guys. Everything here is good. Wait till you try the salad.
Are you impressed with yourself?
I impressed myself today. You know what? I just gave myself a high five.
Nice!
Nice. So good. Wow. This one takes the cake for me. You know what would make this even better? Goat cheese. Oh, but
No,
again,
stage one.
not if you're trying to lose weight, no goat cheese. But goat cheese on this would be amazing. I'm getting such great textures and flavors. You know how radishes have that little bit of that. They're kind of hot. Some people would call radishes hot, not like spicy hot, but there's just like this little hotness to it, kind of like wasabi is hot. Kind of has that hot, not the hot where it's like a jalapeno hot. I get that from the radishes, and then I get this really tartness from the vinaigrette dressing, this vinegary tartness, and then I have this coolness that I get with the cucumber, and then this extra bit of sweetness from the snack pepper. Now, if you're not hungry after I describe that, I don't know what's going to work for you, but this is amazing. All we have left to do is to plate. Let's have Paulina come over here and try this.
Sure, let me just see here. Bonnie's saying it's good, because she also looks together. She's saying, I guess I'll have to eat plain asparagus as a side.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do with this, a good question. So Bonnie's wondering, do I just eat plain asparagus? So when I put this together, as far as plating, what I'm going to do is something like this. And this would be the same thing if you're doing asparagus. Okay?
And then she's saying we didn't use balsamic vinegar, right?
Correct. We didn't. I opted for the apple cider vinegar. So you could use any vinegar. You could use white wine vinegar. I just opted for the apple cider vinegar because that's what I had handy. All right. So here's how I would plate this. I would start with the green beans, or again, if you're using asparagus, the asparagus, and I'm going to put that. And this is going to serve as a bed. Okay, so think of this as a bed. You can see the onions, how the onions stick to it, and the garlic. I want to make sure I get some mushrooms in here. Okay, so adding a few of these mushrooms here. Got a nice little bed. Perfect. Just like so. Add another one in here. Another one here. Good. Another one here. Good. Hey, there's leftovers. Does anybody want to come over and get some? Okay, and then I'm going to take my chicken and I want to make sure that so if you see here, I've got like a nice little collection of some of the green pepper and some of the,
Chicken.
yeah, the green pepper and the snack peppers, okay, the bell peppers. And since I'm going to try to make this one really pretty, I'm going to go crossways and put the chicken. You could do a chicken breast here. A chicken breast would look really pretty on top here. So a baked chicken, doing this would be excellent. But I'm just going to put a few of these chicken pieces on like so. Very good. And then I'm going to take this little bit of stuff here, and we're going to put it on here like so. That looks amazing. And wait, this is probably my favorite part of the whole thing. We're going to take a little bit of that raspberry, and we're going to take and get a little bit on our spoon here. There we go. And we're going to do one of these numbers. Okay. Just
Bam!
Bam!
Fine restaurant.
That just happened. And then make sure you clean it up. You gotta clean it up.
With paper
so
towel.
We're just gonna clean up this here. I've just got some paper towel. Don't tell anybody I'm using paper towel for this. Don't want the paper towel people to come after me. Make sure I get a nice clean plate. Clean plate. There we go. And then I would do this. This is like restaurant style here, okay? So if I'm serving this in a restaurant, I would probably use a slightly bigger plate. Okay, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab some of my salad mixture and put it right here on the side. Some nice spring mixture. And then I want to make sure I get all of the elements. So I've got the radishes here right on top. Those look great. Clean up the side here. And honestly, make this a work of art. Because this is, who cares if you're stuck in quarantine? You serve this to your significant other, you might even get lucky tonight. The jokes just keep coming.
Oh, gosh. Good one, good one.
I thought that was a good one.
Another one bites the dust.
There we go. And so you want a little avant-garde. So I'm just, for those of you who are just plating with me, that's all I'm doing right now is plating. And I have kind of, using for bookends here, I have a cucumber on one end, a tomato on the other end. I have some raspberries in there. I have some of my snack pepper. So I have all of the different elements. Oh, no, wait, right, mushroom. I'm going to put a nice mushroom here. There we go. All right. And then a little bit of the dressing. There we go. Just sprinkled, drizzled is the right word, over the top, like so.
What a masterpiece.
Ooh-wee. Drop the spoon.
Bam.
Bam.
Mic drop.
So let's take one more close-up look at this. So if I'm serving this restaurant style, we've got a really high-class, fancy look. And I want to just say, wasn't that fairly easy? The only thing we did, this is a concept that I would like to talk to you for just a minute before we sign off here. But a concept for tonight is when you do something, finish what you do and put a bow on the project. And if you think about that, when you're wrapping a gift, and you finish wrapping the gift, and you finish it by putting a bow on it, that means, man, this gift is done. I have made this thing, I have wrapped it, it looks pretty, and I finished it with the final touches. A lot of times we end up getting about 90% done with something, and then we just quit. Some of the temptation, too, when you're cooking at home is, you did all this work, and now it's just like, oh, let's just throw it on a plate, or better yet, it's so tasty. I'm just going to stand here and eat it out of the stove. Don't do that. Sorry, I'm chewing on chicken. Hang on. And I'm going to put a mushroom in my mouth too because it goes really well with the chicken. Oh, hang on. Oh, the chicken is so good.
Christine's saying, that is so beautiful. Mine will never be that pretty, but I'm just happy to get it made.
Good job, Christine. Good job, Christine. And by the way, everybody, you guys are doing such a phenomenal job cooking with me. Your pictures are great. Everybody's doing such an amazing job. So I appreciate that so much. It doesn't have to look as pretty as mine.
It doesn't just come easy. He's been,
practicing. I've been practicing for 9 years. So this comes with time. And I even for the past 9 years, I've tried to make it look pretty. So.
And not every dish looks this pretty. Still.
Every dish looks this pretty. Don't listen to her.
Okay.
Every dish is pretty.
No, you do a good job.
Oh, thank you.
You really do.
Any more comments here? Any more comments?
Yeah, we have more comments.
Let's listen to some comments before we sign off.
Yeah, sure thing. David's saying, hi, David Dewar saying, hi,
hey, David.
And company. Hello. I can eat with my eyes and it tastes great. And I clear my plate.
Thank you, David. Thanks for tuning in. Susie, welcome.
I think Susie is Jane's friend.
Susie is Jane's friend. Okay.
Jane saying looks beautiful and Cindy saying yum. And then we did have a couple people give names for your oven mitts.
Oh, oven mitt names.
Hold on. I have to scroll back up to the comments. Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna have to, do a poll on this, by the way.
And then Jane said the oven mitts remind me of the poppet lamb chop.
Oh, lamb chop.
Name one lamb and the other one chop.
Lamb chop. I like it.
Have you seen my lamb chop?
They're right there.
They're right there. You're welcome, Mary. Mary saying thanks for another cooking.
Thanks for joining us, Mary.
Look forward to making this soon. I think Mary's still eating the leftovers from
Mary,
1 to 3.
Guys, if you saw this fridge, it's like hard to close. And I have another fridge, and it's getting full, and I have a chest freezer.
And Jane is going to do a drive-by to pick up some food.
Jane's going to do a drive-by. Well, that's a little bit of a drive from LaSalle.
Or something about tomorrow. She's here. I missed the comment, but I read it earlier. She's saying, she was saying, I don't know, I didn't see it. I missed it now, but she was saying that they're going to be in the area tomorrow or something, and they can drive by.
Well, hey, come by and pick up some food.
I missed the comment.
And by the way, I really mean that. If you live close, I'm in Joliet. If you live close to Joliet and you need food, I have so much of it, So even if you want to say, man, screw this cooking thing, I'm just going to swing by the Jasper's house every night. That's fine. We got lots of food. So bring your own Tupperware. Don't steal my Tupperware. Bring your own Tupperware. All right, is that all the comments?
Yes.
All right, I just wanted to say welcome to the show!
Messing with with my stuff
Messing
again.
with the stuff again.
Messing.
Well, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you had the opportunity today to do something nice for someone else and that you found that really encouraging for yourself during our time of quarantine and honestly time that a lot of us are feeling some stress. So it's great to go out and do something for someone else. If you missed your midday motivation time, that is in here. We will tag it, so that way on the far right-hand side of the group, you'll see topics, and you can click on a topic, and it'll take all the posts that we tagged as that topic. So there's all the recipes listed there, all the live videos listed there, all the polls that we're doing listed there. So if you haven't voted on some of our polls, make sure you vote on some of our polls. We're going to hopefully get a scoring total together tonight, and we'll be talking about that tonight at 9 o'clock. So come back at 9 o'clock for a scoring update. Remember, tomorrow we have our midday motivation with me, your daily dose of Davis, and we had some great questions today that I saw after I logged off, so we will be addressing those questions tomorrow sometime around the noon hour. Sometimes it's noon, sometimes it's 12:05, sometimes it's 12:15, but I will let you know when the time gets closer, and I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. Well, this has been Cooking with Davis and Paulina. Thank you guys for joining us in my kitchen tonight, and remember, today is the perfect day to live a vital life.